Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a film that lets you know that James Gunn loves making movies and he loves these characters. Rocket Raccoon is the heart and soul of this movie. Rocket is critically injured in a surprise attack by Adam Warlock in the beginning of the film. But the Guardians are unable to treat him because there is a kill switch in his heart installed by Rocket's creator, the High Evolutionary. The basic plot of the film involves the Guardians going on a quest to find a key that would override the kill switch and it would allow them to save Rocket. The film opens with a shot of a hand reaching for Rocket when he was a baby raccoon, and his entire story is told through flashbacks, and it's genuinely heart-wrenching to watch. This film has some great writing and direction, as there are a lot of setups throughout the film which are paid off in the third act, and it's quite satisfactory. The High Evolutionary is not the best Marvel villain, but it's a good one. We can see him as a mad scientist who just wants to play God. Although his interaction with the other Guardians takes place in the third act, his involvement throughout Rocket's story just conveys how heartless and evil his ways were and how fucking insane he is. The family dynamics amongst the Guardians, including Kraglin and Cosmo the space dog, it's pretty beautiful to watch. Upon seeing Rocket's backstory, we finally understand what this new family actually means to him. The only negative point I have for this film is that I feel Adam Warlock was pretty wasted in the film. It's established that he's basically a baby and doesn't understand things very well, but the action involving Adam Warlock could have been much better, but it wasn't. That's the only negative I have with this film. The action in this film mostly consists of shooting, crashing spaceships and throwing people around. So we don't really get many hand-to-hand combat sequences, which I would have liked, but I understand that it's unfair to demand a hand-to-hand action scene from this film. However, there is a hallway fight scene in which all the Guardians take on High Evolutionary's army. It's shot in one take and it's pretty fucking cool to watch. Another cool moment from the film is Groot firing several guns at the same time, and it was pretty sweet, and that scene ends with Quill jumping off and Groot saving him. That was a good action scene. I really liked it. The CGI in this film is pretty good, but it shouldn't be a surprise considering Marvel was known for good CGI, but considering the last few projects that Marvel has released, this film is pretty great looking. When you watch this film, you can actually see how much love, care and hard work was put into making this, and that definitely makes it one of the best movies in the MCU. And I would sincerely like to thank Mr. James Gunn for this beautiful movie. We are introduced to Rocket's friends in his early life, Lila, Teeves and Floor. Even though those characters were introduced in this film itself, their death scene was pretty heart-wrenching to watch. The scene in which Rocket's heart stops before finally Quill resuscitates him had me crying my eyes out in the theater. Kraglin really struggles to use Yondu's arrow, but in the final battle he has to use it and he finally does. It was a pretty sweet payoff. I really loved it. Cosmos telekinesis was established early on in the film with a friendly show off in front of Kraglin, but it was later used to save Kraglin and combine two celestial bodies together. That was a pretty great setup and payoff. I really liked it. Drax's final dance, the Guardians finally accepting Rocket as their new leader, and Peter Quill letting Gamora go and going back to his grandfather are more of some beautiful moments from the film. Rocket spent most of his life telling people not to call him a raccoon, and his line in the end, the name is Rocket Raccoon, before he shoots the High Evolutionary. That was a pretty sick moment. I really loved it. When Peter gets stuck in space, I was expecting Gamora would go and save him, which would be a callback to that scene from the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, but it ended up being Adam Warlock who saved him. It was a good moment for Adam Warlock's character. I like that, but I would have liked it even more had it been Gamora who saved him. It would have been a nice circle. Once again, we have to appreciate James Gunn for the love that he has for his craft and for these characters, and this film is a pretty good conclusion to the Guardians as we know them and the stepping stone to the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I just hope Marvel doesn't milk these characters without James Gunn's involvement, because he really put a lot of love to these characters, and I would absolutely hate to see these characters being butchered in the future. So I hope it doesn't happen. But at the same time, I'm pretty excited to see where their story goes from here, because as we all know, the legendary Star Lord will return.